And we are live. Oh, shoot. Got to hit you. Oh, where's it at? I cannot remember how to hit the right buttons.
I don't know.
Streamer mode. There we go. I believe the beepies won't cause any problems for everybody. Yeah, but I do need to go back to my direct messages. Some people send me messages. I can see them even pop up. All right. I hope everybody has had a good week. And we are getting ready to rock and roll for today's live stream. We've got a few interesting stories that we're going to be touching on.
Interesting is right.
We've got a Gina Carano new update because Gina Carano is hot and she's awesome and she's a very, very good person. Everybody that's ever talked to her talks about how down to earth she is. So yeah, we got some good news coming from her. We also have some Twitch lunacy to talk about, not just the Amara, is that how you say her name? Getting assaulted at TwitchCon and the subsequent firing of the CEO after all that bullshit, where he was trying to blame the victim for getting assaulted at TwitchCon, where they refused to allow her to have her own personal bodyguard, as well as the Hassan Piker bullshit, which we'll touch on near the end of the show. We've also got some Dash Tom Foolery to hit upon. And by Tom Foolery, I mean the crazy shit this woman has been, oh God, it's just insane. We got a pedo couple.
Really, Siggy? We're just getting started and you're already starting in with this? Get the spray bottle. Break out the spray bottle. We're not even 5 minutes in and we already got to break out the spray bottle.
All right. Betsy Robinson. Betsy.
You couldn't have waited until at least 10 minutes in.
Betsy. Betsy. Betsy.
I will break out the paddle if I have to, boy.
He might enjoy the paddle, though.
Yeah, that's true. He's a masochist.
Well,
Anyone who associates with the squid is a masochist.
Well, considering the fact that he likes getting sprayed with Febreze all the time, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, okay, where was I again? Oh, yeah. Okay. The tomfoolery I already did the tomfoolery discussion about DoorDash. The pedo couple take the things that they did to autistic children, and the fact that dude gets 10 consecutive life sentences while the girl, she's only getting 100 years. Yeah, buddy. And then we also have a Roblox update because there's some stuff coming out about Roblox. It's pretty interesting. Hey, Fall 13. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. That's messed up shit, dude. Yeah. I believe me, I agree, but I would prefer tossing those sons of bitches into the containment field with Harvey instead of
let him deal with them.
Yeah.
But that's a catch-22 because in order to throw them in, that requires lowering the containment field, which means pushing the button.
But then again, we do have Chippy, who's always oh so hungry.
Yeah.
And we also know his catchphrase is toss him in feet first. So we do have that. we do have Chippy we can fall back on that one.
We do have some topics today that I'm just going to give a spoiler warning for anyone who is currently in or might join the panel at any point during the stream. Over the last week or so, I have been incredibly stressed, and as such, I am very irritable.
Yeah.
So if I end up getting sent into a squid level angry rampage, I think Richard's got me covered.
Yeah.
Because I have been having a few angry outbursts lately from all this from all the stress hitting me all at once and not being able to vent it properly.
It's all good, Siggy. You know we love you. Yeah, that broken bottle situation really pisses me off, man. But then again, the stuff that has been happening with that over there in the UK is really, really pissed me off because this is something that's been going on for and getting covered up by the British government since the early aughts. The whole grooming scandal stuff, that stuff's been going on for so damn long it's not even funny. It's one of the reasons why I can't believe Sturmer's still in office, especially when they found out that he was one of the people who was responsible for keeping this stuff from getting out and actually being prosecuted.
Yeah.
When that happened, I was like, and he's still prime minister? I'm like, what the fuck?
And a last minute addition to our roster today, we have Taylor Swift being sued. Yay!
Yo, this is one that I've been hearing stuff about this for a while because there were several people have been talking about the fact that some of the stuff that Taylor Swift was putting out was plagiarized and was stolen intellectual property. Now, I did not know it also included dance routines. I just thought it was the lyrics from some of her songs. Yeah, she took song and reused music from somebody else. But like I said, that's something that I'd heard that. I've been hearing that for several years now. I'm just surprised that they're trying to toss out the lawsuit saying, oh, this stuff all came out multiple years ago when the law states you've got 3 years from the moment you discover something of yours has been stolen to do a lawsuit. And the fact that she didn't discover this stuff until a couple of years ago, that's more than enough time for her to be able to do it. I still think it's messed up. It's a 3-year limit, or you got that 3-year window when it should be a little bit longer because you've got to find a lawyer to be able to start the process. And there are lawyers out there that won't go with it because the person you're going up against 9 times out of 10 has a lot more money than you. And they don't want to risk expending all of that time, effort, and money and not get paid for it. But there are the lawyers out there that are the ambulance chasers that would take it up on the contingency of hoping they're just going to throw money at us and make us go away.
Yeah.
But if
as much as I hate to admit, I actually have to agree with Sigvaldus in here. Says sadly, she listens to so much music that I suspect most times it is by accident, which could very well be true.
Yeah, that's true. Is Siggy over on your channel?
Yeah, he is in my chat.
All right, cool. That's what that little chain link means on there.
Yep.
Well, just don't forget not to watch on my channel too, man, because I could use the views too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everybody right now, I'm going to stop and do this right now. If you're watching this in one stream, don't forget to go to the other one and watch it on the rewind on the other side.
Exactly. That way we can, everybody gets the hit, gets the watch, and everybody gets, oh shoot, that didn't work. Why did that do that? You're added as I'm trying to add Wavero as a monitor, managing monitor, and it's not wanting to let it go through. All right, is it working now?
Because I'm already a mod on your channel.
Yeah, I know, but it's saying I accidentally deleted a message. Double check it and see what the hell I did wrong. Oh God, I'm still learning this stuff, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and Sigvalderson is now in your chat.
All right, cool. Let me see if I can make this thing work. Computers can be a pain in my butt. There we go.
Technology is wonderful when it works.
There we go. I think I got it working now. Is it doing it the way it's supposed to do? I hope so. And we got a couple of other little things that we'll be tossing in every now and again, just for shits and giggles, man. All right. Hey, there he is. He's in mine now too. Cool. But yeah, I'm just the whole Taylor Swift stuff, you know, like I said, this is something that I've been hearing for a while. But it was never a big deal to me because I really don't listen to her music. It just wasn't one of those things that I paid attention to. And it's just the way it is. But hey, I look at it this way. You do it, that's a pee-pee slap time. You took somebody's shit. Especially if you know you did it, you deserve a pee-pee slap. Yeah.
A story that one of my cousins once related to me. This is a true story. She actually, I don't know if I should tell this because I do not have her permission to tell the story. But the abridged version is she got caught by her father stealing from her mother.
Uh-huh.
And he using a very specific tool taught her a very hard lesson that she to this day has not forgotten. Basically saying, if I catch you stealing again,
yeah,
I won't miss.
Let's see, did that work or not?
We take theft very seriously in my family.
Okay, give me a moment, guys. I'm having another senior tech moment. Oh, there we go. I think I got it working. Yeah, okay. I think it's working. You're hearing me, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. But some of the stuff that we've been dealing with is wild, to say the least. This past week, was pretty mundane. We had some good stuff. We had some bad stuff. Look at the crazy people bitching and moaning about the construction work that's going on at the White House, trying to say, "Oh, he's destroying the White House," when all of that they've done so far is remove overhang so they can expand that part of the White House for the ballroom. Now, I'm going to touch on it first, because it's pretty much the easiest thing to touch on. And so, to that end, I need to share my screen. Let's see, there we go. Let's hit that share screen here. Ain't that pretty? That's the White House. It's got all this nice information on here showing the West Wing was built in 1902. The East Wing was built in 1942, and that's the East Wing. West Wing, East Wing. Now, the main part, the Executive Mansion, was built in 1815. That's the White House residence. Ain't that pretty? Ain't that pretty? Ain't pretty? I think it's pretty. Now, this over here is the location of where the ballroom's going to go and where they're working. See that little overhang that's outlined in yellow? That's what they've torn down. It's an overhang. See this thing right here? That's the driveway. That's the driveway. Ain't that pretty? Cars pull in underneath this overhang so you can get out of the car and not get rained on if it's raining. Pretty sweet, I think. But they're removing the overhang so they can extend this thing out, so they can have that nice, pretty ballroom. Now, over here, this guy does a nice little expose article talking about it. Now, the crazy people bitching and moaning about this, like Gavin Newsom trying to say, oh, he's destroying the people's house. Is that little thing the house? Yeah, that's part of the house. But it's the overhang that they're pulling down so they can extend this to take up that spot. Now, all of this is the intent to piss people off with misinformation, which ironically enough is something that the Democrats have been doing nonstop for several decades. And at least, well, not really. If violence was to come out of this, they would be happy because they've been promoting violence nonstop for close to 50 fucking years now, which is driving me batshit crazy. But this guy wrote a little expose with a brief timeline of all the major renovations and demolitions that has been done to the White House. And let's start with this. The White House main structure, as we know it, was built in 1815 after the original structure, which was built between 1792 and 1800, was burnt down in 1814 by the British in the War of 1812. That original executive mansion received its first white paint job when Thomas Jefferson moved in. In 1902, Teddy Roosevelt had the West Wing built, demolishing and replacing Jefferson's greenhouses. Let's look at that. Demolishing and replacing Jefferson's greenhouses. There were greenhouses over here that aren't there no more because they built the West Wing in 1902. Now, the East Wing started out as the East Terrace in 1902. And FDR in 1942, it became the East Wing of the White House by being expanding and having a bunker built underneath it. Yeah, there's a bunker under here, for those who don't know.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, it is. If you know the history of the White House, it's got some really cool shit, especially when they talk about all the renovations that's been done to it, which we'll touch on in a moment.
If you actually look around at closely at some places, you'll actually see a lot of hidden secrets. There's actually a secret underground base or corridor or something underneath where I used to live back up in Anderson.
No, sweet. Well, there's a whole lot of those in DC, believe it or not. Almost all the buildings have underground connection to underground tunnels for evacuation purposes.
Yeah. Well, with DC, I can completely understand that.
Oh, yeah. The Cold War saw a lot of stuff like that added to be able to get Congress, the Supreme Court, the president and vice president and their families out as quickly as possible with as much protection as they could have. Because remember, once they find out intercontinental missiles are on their way, they had less than 30 minutes to get people out of there. So they had to be able to get them out fast. And yes, you can get them out fast by air, but you can only get so many helicopters into that small of a airspace to get them out. And one of the quickest ways to get them out was the speed rail that they have underground.
Now, one question I do have that I've actually wondered since I was a kid: does the president and his family actually stay at the White House?
Yes, they do.
That's cool.
That's one of the reasons why, if they have, okay, let's go look at George W. Bush, because people gave that man so much shit while they were like celebrating Al Gore's big, huge honking mansion that had a footprint that was so huge it used up more energy in a week's time than a middle-class family made in a year. That was Al Gore's house, you know, the super environmentalist Al Gore.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, George W. Bush bought and renovated a little ranch house that was almost entirely powered with alternative energy sources and had one of the most minuscule footprints, environmental footprints ever. Plus, he himself purchased and built all the stuff so Secret Service would have a place to stay and did not charge them rent for it. Let's go over here to the Clintons. They bought this extremely expensive mansion in New York so Hillary could be a senator from New York. Then they turned around and rented out a section of said mansions. I think it was the guest house for this mansion. Turned around and rented it out to the Secret Service. The monthly rent that they were charging the Secret Service was, guess how much?
I don't know if I want to know.
The exact amount of their monthly mortgage payment. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
Okay. As a former president, he's supposed to be getting Secret Service till the day he dies. Thus, the American people's paying for that massive mansion that they bought. Yeah. And the ballroom that they're building has been completely funded by donations from outside sources. No tax money's being spent on this thing. Go figure. All right. In 1909, President Taft expanded the West Wing, which included construction of the first Oval Office. President Wilson in 1913 demolished the Colonial Garden and modernized it with a rose garden. FDR renovated the West Wing in 1934, adding a second floor, a larger basement, and a swimming pool. Then in 1942, along with the East Wing renovation and expansion, he also relocated the Oval Office to its current location. Now, in 1934, there was this thing we were going through. Does anybody remember its name? Starts with the word great.
The Great Depression.
When tax money was, yeah. Okay, there's that. Now let's go over here. Okay, to 1948, when President Truman gutted the interior of the White House 100%, adding steel beam structure inside of it, and then rebuilt the complete interior space. That's this part, the main residence, the central part. right here in the middle. Yeah, they completely gutted all of that in 1948 and put in steel beams and re the inside of it. Rumor has it. Okay, this is just from me. Rumor has it that there are various hidden passages to be able for people to be able to be moved around inside the White House without drawing attention to it. I think that's kind of possibly kind of true, but that's just me. Because I'm sorry, if I had a place like that and I'd want to be able to move the president and his family around safely, and I was the security dude in charge, I'd definitely be having places like that. I mean, being able to move your security around without people noticing, that's damn good. That's damn tactical and strategic thinking. Now, in President Obama in 2009 added his own touch to the White House grounds when he resurfaced the Southern Ground tennis court and transformed it into a baseball court. Now, Trump is adding a ballroom to the East Wing. All right. Why is he doing that? Because anytime there was a state dinner or anything like that that required something like a granite ballroom, they were going out and spending each time over $1 million on just renting the tents. That's not including the amount of money that they were having to spend for the temporary floors that they put up, the security measures that they would have to take, being able to pump in air conditioning or heating into those tent areas, etc., etc., etc. It just does not make sense to just have something temporary that you set up and then tear it back down when you're spending that extravagant amount of money to do a temporary setup and make it look like a grand ballroom each and every time you're doing it. It's throwing out good money for bad, in my opinion. Now, right now, there's a whole shit ton of people running around screaming and hollering that Trump's tearing up the White House and he's destroying a history. Please don't be fooled. These are people who are allowing their irrational hatred of this man to overwhelm their rational mind and their common human decency and the ability to think logically and creatively to be able to read a fucking history book and see this isn't a major deal. Especially in certain fact, they're not spending taxpayer money doing it. They raised the money for this from private donations. And like I said, the little space that they're tearing down is that overhang. So they can extend this building out to put a grand ballroom there. So please, ladies and gentlemen, take a deep breath and remember the people who are lying about this are the same people that have been lying about a shit ton of stuff, like the Russian collusion delusion. They're good people on both sides lie. Calling our honored veterans from World War II who died on D-Day as just a bunch of chumps and losers. They're also the same people who were saying that somehow Donald Trump was able to push through 3 feet of armor and bulletproof glass to choke the Secret Service dude driving the beast, screaming at him, "Take me back to the Capitol building so I can go lead the insurrection." Let that sink in. These people have been caught blatantly lying to us in the past. Lies that are extremely easy to disprove. But because of that whole concept of an irrational hatred overwhelming a rational mind and common human decency, they think they can get away with this stuff because it's worked in the past. But fortunately, more and more people have been waking up to this. Thank God. But yeah. All right. What's everybody saying in the chat?
Sounds like more stuff. It sounds like more stuff where they're just trying to. Oh, Trump is being Trump, so Trump needs to be hated because he's a human.
Yeah,
Trump exists. Let's hate him.
It's why I keep saying if I could get 2 minutes to talk to Trump, I would tell him during his next rally to do a 3-hour riff on how awesome it is to breathe oxygen. Just 3 hours of talking how great it is to breathe oxygen.
Yep. Let natural selection do the rest.
Yeah. All right. Siggy was saying.
Siggy was talking to me about what was going on with Doomcock.
What's going on with Doomcock?
No real details, but apparently he made an announcement. I think on Patreon, where he's got some kind of a huge emergency going on, and he won't be able to have Pop Culture Breakdown or possibly Friday Night Frolics this week.
Okay. Well, I was going to be mentioning the fact that we needed to pray for Blaze 2000 because he's sitting at the hospital right now in London. I was going to hold off and try to do that in the middle point when hopefully we had more people.
Yeah,
get more people to put him in their prayers. But we'll add Doomcock to our prayers.
Yeah, we definitely need to add Doomcock to that list.
Let's see. Mustache Man became Chancellor in 33. Yeah.
Okay, so he put it on X. Let me see if I can find it here.
All right, cool. But yeah, I mean, it frustrates me that so many people are allowing their irrational hatreds to overwhelm a rational mind. It's ridiculous, especially when the lies are so easy to disprove. And it scares me because this is the sort of thing that if you don't deal with it, it's going to keep happening. And that's not cool. It's not cool at all. Because when people allow this sort of stuff to just keep going, we get what we've got today, where there's that great divide that separates people. It's like so many people were told that Charlie Kirk was a racist, a homophobe, a transphobe, and all this other evil shit. And they believed it until they went and started watching all the debates that he was doing and seeing the fact he never belittled anybody. He just wanted to have an open and honest conversation with them. And whenever he did roast them, it was always done in good humor. That he did not demean them, did not call them monsters or any of that shit. Very true, Siggy. The left is pretty much sheep at this point because they allow themselves to be herded into whatever groupthink is supposed to be out there. And yes, it is due to the indoctrination from both the media and the universities. And that's one of the things that worries me because I used to look at going to college and going to a university as something awesome. It was something I really wanted to do. Especially after I learned. I enjoyed learning new shit.
Okay. Real quick.
Okay.
I did find on X where Doomcock had made that post, And 3 days ago, he made a post to the archvillains that he says, quote, "I'm dealing with a sudden emergency and I will not be able to have the live stream today," referring to the archvillains Assemble live stream.
Yeah.
Says, "My sincere apologies, but I must deal with this situation. Don't worry, I am physically safe."
Okay. But we'll still add him to our prayers.
Yeah. But this is it does sound like a very serious situation. We should absolutely pray for Doomcock.
All right.
I did.
You're breaking up, son.
I was just speaking weird.
You there?
I am here.
Yeah.
I thought we lost you for a second.
No,
Yep.
I was just speaking weird. I do that sometimes on purpose, just to fuck with you.
right.
I've been known to do that.
All right.
But
Now-
what I said was, I pulled a Jeffy impression from a YouTube channel, and I said I don't have to in a funny way.
Ah.
Yeah, it's one of Jeffy's most iconic bits, and I just like recreating it sometimes. Because I grew up on that retarded cunt.
Well, we do have. Let me double check and see if there's an update from Blaze 2000, but so far I don't see one. He's just looks like he's complaining
As
about.
far as
Yeah, he's complaining that he's sitting in there getting an ECG to see if they're human, and they're not letting him play video games. It's, yeah, he's like he sent a meme of him sitting there at the doctor's office screaming, "Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up." It's really cute. But
yeah, as far as the video that you've got on the screen, because this is YouTube,
yeah,
I don't think we'll be able to actually show it because of the language used.
I'm just putting it up there so people can see the picture of. Hold on, let me make sure you guys. Okay, this is the dude that got 10 consecutive life sentences. This is the bitch who only got 100 years. That is the reason why.
What had happened, if I may?
Yep, go for it.
What had happened was the woman was bringing it. People were bringing their kids to this woman to babysit because they think, oh, she's a woman. She can absolutely be trusted. She was sending these girls.
You're forgetting the fact
these
that
are
they were special needs.
Yes, she spent, and these are all special needs children. And she's sending these special needs girls to her boyfriend, who is, for lack of a better term, diddying their diddle.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it creatively.
He's Sean Combs up in this bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
We don't know if
my boy did. He did nothing wrong. Let him out.
Both of them have been convicted. The woman has been sentenced to 100 years. The man has been sentenced to 10 consecutive life sentences with no chance of parole.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, even that's too good for both of them.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I think they should be getting?
Good old Chippy.
It should be Chippy. It should.
That's why we call them. That's why we call them wood chipper food around here, or garden fertilizer.
Because it's what they did was evil, pure unadulterated evil. They need to be going to see Chippy. And as Chippy says, feet first. Send them to me, feet first. I am oh so hungry. I swear, man.
Yeah.
And
reminds me of the reminds me of the Roblox thing that happened a while back.
Yeah. And we've got some good news about the Roblox thing. That even what was the guy's name? That was doing the predator hunting.
Flat.
That they knocked him off the platform.
Flat.
Schlep, yeah.
Yeah, Schlep.
I just said that.
Where the information that you were able to get from Florida that they had already started the process before Schlep ever did it.
Yeah.
And the fact that that's now coming out is part of our update on the Roblox situation this week's episode.
Yep. It turns out back in April, Florida issued subpoenas to Roblox.
Good, Buzz. So hope everything goes good your way. All right, back to Roblox. Or did you disappear too, Lavo?
Do what?
I was just making sure you were still there.
Nope, I'm here.
Because Zach had to run. So let's see. Siggy says, "Fear the Xeno, hate the Xeno, kill the Xeno" is about where I stand with what's going on in Ireland and the UK and their Xeno problems.
Did get an update from Shrubby just now.
Is he doing good? Is he going to make it?
It says 8:30 to 9 this morning. My grandfather is gone.
Oh no!
So his grandfather passed.
So we'll be adding him to our prayers as well. We'll tell him that we're praying and we're here for him whenever he needs us. Damn. This year has been hard on the family, man.
It's been hard. It's been hard on everybody. We've lost a number of really great celebrities. I've lost a few good friends. We have people losing relatives, losing some of their own battles.
Yeah.
It's been hard. Like, I know 2020 was bad for a lot of people, but 2025 was hard.
Mm-hmm. It's been, for me, this year's been pretty harsh because I've had several people I love and adore who have passed away. And it's been hard on me because this year the pain has gotten so much worse. It's actually got me and Laura Jane were talking about this earlier today about the fact that the metal in our bodies has been hurting really bad, which usually means that the weather's going to get really bad during the wintertime. For me, I hurt more in the summertime than I do in the wintertime, but the metal has made one hell of a barometer for me. So I can usually tell when the weather's going to get kind of funky. And my body's been is literally telling me that this winter is going to have some really funky weather, and I'm not looking forward to it. And also need to see about what's going on with my flipping ceiling. You'd be good, kitty. Being codependent right now. Kraken's being very codependent at the moment. Needing pets and ear rubs.
Cats will do that.
But yeah, so everybody, please remember everyone in your prayers. We got Blaze 2000. We've got Doomcock. We've got Shrubby and his family that we'll be praying for today.
Yep.
And yeah, we definitely need to pick up our prayer game, you know?
Yeah.
But what pissed me off the most about this couple isn't isn't just the fact of all evil shit that they've done. It's the fact that the biggest reason why they were able to do it was the trust that people put in this woman. And when compared to what the dude got, i.e., 10 life sentences, compared with no possibility of parole, compared to her getting 100 years, which means she still has that possibility of parole coming about.
It is very, very slim. Very slim. But it's still there.
And that's just more proof of the fact that a woman can do a worse crime than a dude and get an even less sentence than the dude is going to get. And that freaks me the heck out. Because I'm sorry, I'm a big believer that justice is blind for a reason. You break the law, you get the same punishment. But as anybody who's gone through this shit knows, that's not happening. I mean, dudes who have been the victims of domestic abuse know this really well, that they could be assaulted, and when the cops show up, odds are they're going to be the one in the back of the police car being taken to the jail, especially if they're going by the Duluth model. Because if the woman that's beating you breaks a nail while she's beating you, you're going to jail. Hell, even if she doesn't break that nail, the possibility is you're going to jail. Let's see, what is this? The cycle of life is hard. Think Masandri had it right. There's only one hell, princess, and the one we live in
now.
Yep, that's from Game of Thrones, which was good right up until its last 2 seasons. And the last 2 seasons really feels like they just wanted it to end as quickly as they could. And hit fast forward instead of just telling the good story.
Yeah, pretty much. Then again, I can't say anything because I never watched Game of Thrones.
It was
I only know what I only know what I've been told about it.
It was actually pretty good. My mom, she enjoyed it, though she did say that the nudity and stuff from the first 2 seasons was a little excessive. Until I reminded her it's HBO, and of course they're going to do the titillation, factor. And she's like, yeah, that's true. Because one of our favorite comedy TV shows, if I remember right, I was on HBO, and that was called The First and 10. That was one of the first sitcoms that was run on a cable network, and it had a lot of skin in it when it first got started too. But that's just the way cable was back then. You had a whole lot more freedom of profanity and adult situations. I mean, look at Nip and Tuck. That show was nothing. Had a whole bunch of titillation in it, but people still loved it. And Game of Thrones had a lot of titillation in it the first couple of seasons. So yeah, there's that.
Anyway, should I get the tangent bell?
Yeah, go for it.
Hang on.
Yeah. All right, let's hit the Gina Carano update.
Yep. So, and I sent this article to Doomcock as well. Gina Carano has finally landed her first role since the lawsuit was settled. Says in the article here from One Workforce, it says Deadline reports the series is titled Logan Rain and is set in Las Vegas.
Mhm.
Says the lead works as a legal assistant by day and fights crime by night. A grounded vigilante whose city becomes a character.
Yeah. Sounds
And
interesting.
this is being produced by the same people who apparently brought Get Out, whatever that is. So
That was that was the racist movie that was basically showing that the left was like super racist. That was fetishizing black men.
ah,
Yeah, wealthy liberal whites were fetishizing black men, and that was that's summing it up to what Get Out was about.
yeah. But yeah. So Gina Carano has finally managed to land her first role
No, she had a
in
role before
a
with
television series.
well, in a television series. Yeah, she did. She actually was able to get a movie made with the help of Daily Wire, and that was a western that she did. That was actually pretty good. If you get a chance to see it, she was also one of the Secret Service agents in the biopic about Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
That was kind of cute because I watched it, and like I said, it's pretty cute. Basically showing what was going on inside the Biden White House around what was going on with Hunter Biden, as well as what was going on with the Bidens during the Obama years, and just how corrupt it was. I mean, damn, everything that they accused Trump of being, Joe Biden was, with all the corrupt crap that dude did while he was in office. I mean,
my biggest argument to all these people that are pointing fingers, and I could have also said the same thing to that one guy who should not be named from the last stream, is how would you guys feel if somebody said verbatim exactly what you're saying, but replace Trump or replace MAGA, replace Charlie Kirk or whatever with Obama or Biden? How would that make you feel then?
Yeah. Problem is, though, both Biden and Obama, they actually have evidence of them breaking the law and breaking rules, but they don't. Nobody gives a shit when it gets pulled out. I mean, this is something I talked about when Obama was in office, was about all the collateral damage that unrestricted drone strikes that he was carrying out was doing, and how it was basically turning the Middle East against us. Y'all might hate George W. Bush, but he wasn't hated in the Middle East. Because remember, when the Iraqi dude threw his shoe at George W. Bush, well, he threw both of his shoes at George W. Bush, and George W. Bush dodged him both times and just started, and he thought it was the funniest thing on earth. And all the people that was around this dude dang near wanted to beat the living crap out of him for it.
Oh, we got Shrubby in the chat.
Yep. Okay, Shrubby. Yeah. We told everybody to start praying for you, brother. And how our hearts are with you. And if you need anything, all you got to do is ask, and we will be there.
Yep.
That's what family is for.
All you got to do is reach out to us.
Yep. And I'm begging you to reach out to us. But during the Obama years and the unrestricted drone warfare that he was carrying out, turned the people of the Middle East against us, because they literally were Okay, during George W. Bush's time, exactly. We're family, brother. Family.
Exactly.
Never forget it.
Ohana. Ohana means family.
Yep.
Family means nobody gets left behind or forgotten. Or as my brother on Twitch says, family means touch them and they'll never find your body.
Yes.
I figured Shrubby might like that one.
Yep. But like I said, when George W. Bush was president, if there was a possibility of any type of collateral damage, an innocent person getting killed with a drone strike, it got canceled. Obama would carry out a drone strike if there was a minuscule possibility that that drone strike would take out a terrorist. Oh, let me get this straight. The roommate of the cousin of this here terrorist is going to be at this wedding. Yeah, we're going to drone strike the shit out of that bitch. Let's do it. Because that actually happened during the Obama years. Also during the Obama years, there was an American citizen that, yes, was involved in terrorist activities. But let me stress this. He was an American citizen that is protected by various laws that he needed due process. And Obama killed him in a drone strike while he was sitting in the middle of a busy coffee cafe in the middle of a very busy street in the middle of a very busy city, and drone striked his ass. Several hours later, his 16-year-old son goes to the site where this drone strike happened. Guess what happened? Drone striked his 16-year-old son, who was also, guess what, an American citizen. During the cleanup from the first drone strike was still ongoing. Let that sink in, boys and girls. Since Trump got inaugurated this year, how many peace treaties has he been able to negotiate just this year alone? A full handful.
Skull of Calderon's minion in the chat says, and he got the Nobel Peace Prize for that.
Yes, Obama got a Nobel Peace Prize for just getting elected. And people kept bringing up the fact, like people like me, that the dude who got a Nobel Peace Prize just for getting elected was carrying out unrestricted drone warfare and making drone strikes that was killing large numbers of innocent people as collateral damage. And it was the only thing he really took seriously while he was president was his drone strikes. Because the people that would go in to give him his morning briefing said that he refused to get briefings from them. He just said, send it to my BlackBerry and I'll read it whenever I get time. But when it came time for drone strikes, he would show up with everything ready for that. Tell me who we're going to get killed today. Let that shit sink in, boys and girls. They gave that dude a Nobel Peace Prize. But the dude who's actually been brokering peace treaties and peace deals, not just this time, but the last time he was in office, and snubbed him both fucking times. And how many people stated if he was able to negotiate a peace deal in Gaza this time around, he definitely deserved the damn Nobel Peace Prize. But guess what he didn't get? And then let that shit sink in.
Yeah. Equality, like, my ass.
Yeah, it's not existing. And that is what pisses me off about this shit.
I am convinced beyond all doubt that until Jesus returns for his millennial reign, there will never, ever be any such thing as equality.
Yeah.
Equality will never exist until the millennial reign of Christ.
Sadly, you're
because
right.
humanity is too full of hate and anger toward itself. Why do you think I choose not to identify as a human? I say I do so jokingly. I am not serious about it. But
Are
still,
you actually coming out and saying you're a furry now?
no, I'm a tree. I have long told the joke that I choose to identify as a northern red oak. Because why would I want to identify as a member of a species whose sole purpose is to hate and murder and kill each other because you're 1% different from me?
True. Unfortunately, though, we see other animals out there that do it too.
In the words of was it Paul McCartney? It was one of the Beatles during that big press conference. Screw all y'all.
Yeah. I'm just to that point to where I'm looking at this shit and I'm sick and tired of the hypocrisy of it.
Yeah. I lost faith in humanity over a decade ago, in case you couldn't tell.
Yeah. Now, before Obama came into office, race relations had been improving every year. And it had got to a point to where people weren't looking at what color of skin you had. I mean, some of the highest paid actors and actresses were of quote unquote of color. Look at Will Smith. Dude was making money hand over fist. Even the Chinese, who are notoriously racist, talk about the fact that Will Smith is a handsome man. And the fact that, the Chinese were like going, put Will Smith on the screen and we'll go watch it. Which is making me wonder.
Will Smith is a good actor.
Yeah, he is. Though he did let himself get cut big time. But that's just the way it is, Siggy, don't make me do it.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to let that one slide.
Don't do it, man. Come on. We've already had to break out the Febreze once. And my cats are looking at me saying, no, don't do it. Don't break out the Febreze. We'll be good.
Look at it this way. Look at it this way. Look at it this way, Siggy. By the time you get ready for your next meeting with the big man himself, you'll be smelling like a forest.
Yeah. No. Actually, I am using April Fresh Air Mist, the Downy scent. Hold on.
Ah, that's actually even better.
Yeah, it smells good. See, this is what I'm using.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me make it big so everybody can see it. See?
Yep.
Ain't this stuff nice? This is what I'm spraying you with, Siggy. You're going to smell good. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I got to.
That is.
Gonna get you, buddy. Woo. Yep.
I can see the kids off in the background.
Yep. They're up there. The twins
he says just don't get it in his eyes, he says.
All right. But
that much is doable.
Yeah, okay. We can pull that off. But like I said, it drives me nuts when this stuff happens. That whole irrationality of it. And how it will literally overwhelm people's rational minds. It's insane to me. And it makes me want, in all honesty, to slap a bitch. That I get that frustrated with it. Because the hypocrisy of it all drives me batshit crazy. And the same people who will bitch about this will then make excuses when when somebody with a little D after their name does something even worse. I've been saying the same damn thing, no matter what letter the person has behind their name. I had my issues when George W. Bush was president because I felt some of the stuff that was in the Patriot Act was too vague. I agreed that federal agencies should have the same law enforcement agencies should have the same type of powers that state and local police officers have to be able to do their jobs. But I did not agree with the unrestricted surveillance state that they were pushing at the time and are still pushing today. Because there is some stuff that was supposed to be not grandfathered, but sunsetted from the Patriot Act that was not associated with terrorism. And it's still there. It's still being used. Then there's the whole, you remember the housing bubble that burst in 2008 and everybody was trying to blame
the 0809 financial crisis, the Great Recession.
Yes. And how they were trying to blame that on George W. Bush instead of the people in Congress who caused it, i.e. the Frank Dodd Act. Now, if you don't know what that is, please look it up. Barney Frank, and I can't remember what Dodd's first name was basically them forcing banks to give home loans to people who could not pay those loans back. And to be able to pull this off, they created those things called balloon mortgages, to where, to start with, the mortgages was small enough that people could make those mortgage payments, hoping that they would make more money every year building upon itself so they could increase the amount the mortgage payments needed to be so they could recoup their money down the road.
Didn't Ben Bernanke have something to do with that?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yep. And they tried to lay the blame on the people who did not agree with it when it went through at the time, because they saw the writing on the wall. These people that you're giving these type of loans to are not going to be able to pay them off down the road because they're not making enough money to begin with to make these types of payments. And they got accused of being racist. It's racist not to give people these loans. I'm not looking at the color of their skin. I'm looking how much money they're making. But that didn't matter. And thus, we ended up having the housing bubble go boom, which caused that recession. And we also ended up with too big to fail, which came from that, because these banks had invested money that they weren't going to be getting back from the people that they loaned that's money to buy houses that they couldn't afford.
Yep.
So we had to do what? We had to bail out these banks that we forced to give money away that they knew that they weren't going to get back. Hypocrisy.
Yep. Which also led to gas prices in Anderson, where I'm originally from, being, I think the highest I personally saw them was like in the $6 range.
Yeah.
But that's nothing. There are some areas where they shot up to $14 a gallon.
Well, the part that upsets me the most, I get called a racist, a bigot, a hater, and all this other stuff because I'm pointing out the fact you're loaning money to people who cannot pay it back. because of economy reasons. They're not making enough money to be able to pay back this amount of money you're loaning them. I'm also pointing out the fact that colleges are charging too much for degrees that aren't going to get nobody a job. A gender studies degree is pretty much useless, but they charge an arm and a leg for that shit. That's not how you do it. It's one of the reasons why I'm a big believer in tech schools. Doesn't take as long, doesn't cost as much, and by the time you've graduated, you've got 5 or 6 people wanting to hire you like that. You did hear the snap, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Just had to make sure. Now, wait a minute. I should do this, shouldn't I? Yeah, there we go. All right. It's back. It's up. All right. These colleges are pushing degrees out that are worthless. Only thing it's good for is butt wipe. And even with the DEI programs going on, you can only hire so many people for a DEI section in your business. It's just the way it is.
So I had to step away for a brief second.
It's all right. When facts become meaningless to these people, there's no way you're going to convince them to turn away from it. It's especially when it comes to a herd mentality, the hive mind mentality that the left has basically put themselves into. Because it is a hive mind mentality. Because the moment you disagree with something, they turn on you and kick you out of the group. Look at what's been going on with John Fetterman. John Fetterman is still a big time lefty. All he's been saying is we need to stop the violent rhetoric. We need to stop calling the other side fascist Nazis and Hitler types and all this other stuff. We've got to stop that. That's causing the division, that's causing the violence and causing these issues. And what are they doing? They're doing everything in their power to kick him out of the Democrat Party right now. They're already saying if he does run for re-election, he's not going to get any money from the party. And Siggy's right. Most jobs don't require a college education. In fact, in all honesty, odds are all a college education means is you spent 4 years drinking and partying and being a degenerate, doing all kinds of really fucked up shit. Here's my certification that I spent 4 years being a total douchebag or a whore or a man whore and just debaucherizing myself. And that I have times whenever I have flashbacks of doing things that I really should never have done, type deal, you know? Which sucks because it's like Disney. I always wanted to go to Disney. I never got to go. College, I got to go to community college. Never got to go get a full 4-year college experience. Even though I had the grades to do it, I just never got to do it. Go figure. But anywho, yeah. All right, what's our next subject again?
Let me check our the DoorDash debacle.
Yes. The DoorDash Tom Foolery.
This is gonna be a fun one.
Oh yeah. Okay, Siggy.
Right.
We're gonna be talking about you now because we know it was you sitting butt naked on your damn couch when the DoorDash lady showed up.
All right. So what happened? And you can do your rant here in just a second, Richard. So what happened? Lady delivered a DoorDash order to a guy who gave very clear, explicit instructions. Leave the order on the front porch. Leave the order at the door. So what does she do? She sees that the door is slightly cracked open. So instead of doing what the instructions said and leaving the order at the door, she opens the door and walks in the house and starts recording. And lo and behold, there is this guy completely passed out, probably drunk, with his pants and underwear around his ankles, with his ditty hanging out. So she records the whole thing and reports it as SA. She ends up getting fired.
As she should.
Because DoorDash saw the video, the internet saw the video, and DoorDash, being the evil company that it is, decided, no, this is too far even for us. You're fired.
Okay. Since his ditty was hanging out, was there baby oil involved?
I have no idea, and I don't want to think about that.
And Siggy's right. No accountability equals the majority of women. Sadly true.
Yeah.
And Siggy says, nope, never use DoorDash. I would rather fetch my own food. Don't brag, dude. Don't brag. When you're a cripple, man, DoorDash and Uber Eats and places like that are godsends.
Yeah, I don't have the money or the means to be able to pay for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because DoorDash and Uber Eats and stuff like that, you have to have a way of paying online for it. You can't use cash when they arrive.
And Siggy also says women use false SA reports equals a popular way to destroy the men they hate, which is also very true. That right there, I could go on a good 30-minute rant talking about all the times that women use that in divorce cases.
Hang on. Tangent off. I'm doing it ahead of time. Tangent off.
Because it does. It really pisses me off that whenever people make these false accusations and they don't get punished for it. Because these type of accusations will destroy a person's life.
Yep.
I mean, it says here you got arrested. Yeah, false accusation. All they know is you got arrested. Even whenever you explain it to them, they still it still screws your life over. Jim had that problem back in the day before he passed away because he actually spent time in jail because of some bullshit that any other judge would have tossed that shit out the moment it came up.
Yeah. To be honest, if anything, by technicality, the woman SA'd the man because she was the one who trespassed.
Yep. Yeah, it's right there. What Siggy just said. Even if they do admit that they had lied, that stigma will always be there.
Yep.
And it's one of the reasons why I'm a big believer that if you make these false accusations and you file these false reports, whatever sentence that the person you have falsely accused will spend in prison or a jail cell, you should be spending double that amount. Because there have been so many men that have been innocent that got convicted and got thrown in jail And you know what hell they went through while they were in that jail. And dudes have spent decades in prison as an innocent person going through that hell. And the person that put them in there doesn't even get a slap on the fucking wrist. Our entire system was created so that 1,000 guilty people could go free to ensure that one innocent person did not suffer the indignity and injustice of that. And I'm a firm believer in that system. That an innocent person going to prison is vile and should never happen. And that if it does happen, that person needs to be given whatever the hell they want to make up for it. Even if it is $1 trillion. Here's $1 trillion for us putting you in prison when you didn't do shit and we didn't listen to you and we did not investigate it well enough to prove you didn't belong there. That's one of the times I truly believe the moment you get out of that prison, here's your gun. There's the person that put you in there with their lies. Do whatever you want to with them. Oh, you want to use Chippy? Hey, Chippy, do you think you're hungry right now? Me so hungry. Yum, yum. Eat them up. Yum, yum. Toss them in. Feet first. Feet first. That's how I feel about it.
Yep.
All right. Siggy says, come on, believe all women. They would never lie about SA despite time and time again that they do. And sadly enough, that's very true. Because it's especially when it comes to divorce courts, the easiest way to discredit the dude and get not only divorced, make yourself look like the victim, and to make sure that he doesn't get his kids be able to have anything to do with him, is make that accusation, and it's instantaneous. And the dude's entire life from then on out is
completely over.
Yes. Completely.
Yeah.
And
stuff like that is so damning that if it happens to a man, there is no recovering from it. Even if that record is expunged, they will never recover from it. To the point that some will often unalive themselves because they can't handle it.
Yeah. And here in North Carolina, there was a guy that I've talked about this before. Dude spent 20 years in prison for something he wasn't even in the country at the time that he was supposed to have done it. And the bitch did not get punished for it. And 20 years in a prison where everybody knew why he was there for what he was accused of doing. And he went through hell. And they gave him a pittance of money when they got him out. And Siggy says, divorce attorney will encourage them to do it too. For a guy, best to get a woman attorney because they know the shit women will use. And that's also true. But there are a lot of women that are divorced that go into the law as divorce attorneys who push that shit. And they refuse to take a man as their client. And it's a sad fact that's the case. There are a growing number of attorneys that specialize in divorce cases and taking the man's case because there's just so many crooked divorce attorneys out there that will take the woman's case and do everything in their power to destroy a dude, especially whenever it comes out that it was the woman that was the lying and cheating and all the other shit. And the fact that it's over 80% of the person who files for the divorce is the woman.
Yeah.
And
this is exactly why men these days, especially men of my generation and younger, have just completely stopped dating altogether. Because stuff like this is so rampant and happens so often. What's the point of getting married or even considering dating when all the woman has to do is just say one single word and your life is over?
Yep.
There is absolutely no reward.
And Siggy says, "Are they have to go overseas to find a woman?" Which is also true. That was the whole passport bros thing that they were making a big deal about. What was it, 2 years ago when they were doing it, talking about it on the mainstream news? All these men are going overseas and marrying foreign women, and all the feminists were saying that's because they're going overseas and marrying those women because they want control over them. Not looking at the fact that the majority of the women they were going and marrying were women that were actually feminine and not the money grubbers and I want to be able to fuck other dudes while we're married type women.
Yep. Like Sig Balderson said right here in the chat, the corrupted Jezebel spirit within Western women.
Exactly.
My buddy Zach, or my buddy, you met him in our other server, Nick and Zach. They'd both be saying the same thing.
Yeah, it's for some reason, and the messed up thing is a lot of the women that have hit the wall and gotten past it, that have seen the lies of feminism, who are now trying to tell these young women, stop before you end up like me. Don't do this. I bought into the lie, and now I'm miserable. I have no kids. I have no spouse. I'm home alone, guzzling wine by the bucket with a buttload of cats. The cats part doesn't bother me that much because I might end up going the folks route and having about 80 cats in my house if I got the chance.
Should I start calling you the crazy cat person?
It's possible, man. Right now I've only got 2.
Just remember, I'm allergic to cats.
Damn it.
I cannot stay in a room where a cat has been sleeping because of my allergies.
Oh shoot, dude, that's not cool. That means you're not going to get to come over and visit, man. That sucks. But anyway, I mean, these older women that bought into the feminazi ideology are sitting there saying, please don't make my mistakes. But there are a lot that are perpetrating it all because of misery loves company. Like what's her name? She does TikToks and Twitter X posts and stuff showing just how awesome it is to be single. A single lady being able to do whatever the hell she wants and not have to worry about children or anything else. That if at the drop of a hat, if she wants to go to Paris, she can go to Paris or whatever else because she's not married and she ain't got kids and she ain't never going to have kids and she don't need no man.
Yep.
Until something
And the
I
don't need no man, ideology is exactly where I mentioned this earlier, exactly where us men are setting. Okay, you don't need no man, then you ain't going to get one.
We're just going to walk away. Let you do whatever the hell.
And then they wonder years later. They wonder why they can't get anybody to date them. Mm-hmm. It's because you said you don't need a man. You don't need no man. You ain't getting no man.
Yep.
Why don't you go find a woman?
Yeah. Well, believe it or not, back in the 60s and 70s, that was actually a push. It was political lesbianism. That when the first "I don't need no man" came about, that the feminists were pushing political lesbianism, to where if you want physical intimacy or emotional intimacy, you get it from another woman. You don't go to a man. I can't remember the name of the book.
I know the Bible. I know the Bible is very clear on this sort of thing.
Yeah, but one of the things that the feminazis fought against was Judeo-Christian values, breaking the family, which falls back into Marxism, because Marxism said you got to break the family, you got to break religion, you got to get rid of all that stuff to get what you want.
Yeah,
which boils right down to creating an authoritarian government.
Exactly. You take it even a step further than that. You have all these people in the LGBTQ plus community supporting Islam and talking about going to the Middle East and all that. Here's a fun fact for you. In Islam, they kill people like that.
Yeah.
All these people saying, "Oh, well, I could walk right into Iran or Iraq or something like that. I'd be welcome. I'd go to Israel. I'd be welcome there as a celebrity." No, you wouldn't. The first thing that happened, you'd end up getting shot.
Yeah. Well, that's actually happened before the whole October 7th and the beginning of when Hamas started their bullshit. There was several people, internet personality types, that went to go live in Gaza. Even though everybody that knew them said, don't do it. You're going to put yourself in danger. They still moved to these areas. No, actually, they wouldn't hand you your ass in Iran, Marcelo, as a gay person. No. They cut your junk off and turn you into a girl. That's just how it is, Marcelo. That's the reason why their dictator was, when he came to Colombia, was saying, "We don't have no gay people." That's because whenever they do find a gay person, they give them two choices: snippety snip and a pair of boobs, or you go up here to a great big tall building and we toss you out. That's your choices. In Iran.
Yeah, people all the time here in America say, "Oh, well, I'm being oppressed, blah 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 blah. You're this phobic, you're that ist." Now, go to Jerusalem. Go to Jerusalem for a week, then come back. You'll be singing a whole different tune.
Actually, not Jerusalem, since it's under the control of the Israelis. You can actually be openly gay in Israel and survive it.
Really?
Yes. Go to Tehran, though. You will see very, very, very different things. You could be a foreign woman in Iran, and if you ain't wearing the headscarf, you're getting hurt, and it's not cool. I mean, look at the girl who went outside without a headscarf, and they beat her so bad she ended up being brain dead.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I tell people, I've been around the world. I've seen this shit with my own two eyes. Well, 4 if you count my glasses. But that's beside the point, But I've seen the things around the world. That's why I love this country so much. It's because in this country, you can disagree with the government, and the law it protects you. That if they break the law, if the government breaks the law and oppresses you in an illegal manner, you do have recourse. It might take forever to get it, but you will get it at some point, or at least your family will get it, depending on who's in office. Like when Obama was in office and when Biden was in office. Oh God, don't get me started about the crazy stuff that came out of the January 6th people who got tossed in jail and moved on such a regular basis, so their lawyers could not give them any type of credible legal defense to get them out of prison. I mean, the human rights violations that happened to those people had, even if Amnesty International would have been honest and actually doing the job that they talk about, oh, this is our entire purpose in life, they would have been fighting for those people instead of just brushing it under the rug. And yes, Marcelo Wallace, why do you think that the Marines were formed? Explicitly because of Islamist pirates and the fact that they were enslaving people. I mean, you had these people, these Islamist slavers would sail outside of the Mediterranean and up around into northern Europe, raiding coastal villages in Ireland, southern England, and up into the Scandinavian area, and forcefully taking them and taking them back to the Middle East to sell them into slavery. Had this, like I said last week, had this discussion with a moron on Facebook who was saying I was lying, and fortunately other people were posting the links to websites that was from historians discussing these things. And I had somebody who contacted me asking, where did you learn all of this? And I said, I like to read and I love history. And there are documentaries about it, because I had mentioned the fact that the black slaves in Africa that went east instead of west, 9 out of 10 of the males all died from gangrene because they had their giblets cut off. And when I say giblets, I mean Mr. Happy and his 2 nut friends. His Mr. Happy and the Nutty Buddies getting cut off.
So you mean Harvey and the Cthulhu's?
Yes. A clean shave was given to them. And they would, like I said, 9 out of 10 would die from gangrene. And every time groups that want to build, there is several groups that want to build monuments to the slaves that went east, just like they've built monuments to the slaves who went west. Every time it looks like they're going to finally be able to put up that monument because they've been able to secure the property. Big money out of Carter and Saudi Arabia and UAE and all this stuff rushes in and buys that property up so those people cannot build that monument. You're going to make me break it out again, aren't you, Mubba?
I already got him. I already got him.
I'm going to have to break the Febreze out, dude. I'm telling you, man. Harvey would not want that done to him because, well, he likes the ladies too much. He doesn't want to be Varus, man.
On the plus side, though, if it did happen, then there would be a 0% chance that he would be the father. As it stands now, I actually took a DNA sample from Harvey and found out he mutates. So even if he is the father, there is no way to get that in concrete writing, because his DNA mutates, so it's always going to be different.
Oh, he does have kids, Mubba. He does have kids, Stiggy. He does.
Maybe not biological kids, but he definitely has spiritual kids.
Oh, no, he's got biological kids. But he also has kids like Siggy.
Here's a fun statistic for you, Siggy. 3/4 of I think it's a third. A third of a third of the world's population is descended from Genghis Khan. 90% of those, including Genghis Khan himself, are descended from Harvey.
But yeah. But anyway,
Mike, drop.
I don't know if Laura Jane's going to be able to make it.
I think we're running out. I think we've run out of subjects to talk about anyway.
Well, we still have the Piker subject that Laura Jane was going to be taking the lead on.
Oh yeah,
because that hypocritical piece of shit, you know. 100% of the population is descended from Eve.
Yeah,
True.
That's true.
But you also got to remember, there's also Lilith. You can't forget Lilith, because that was Adam's first wife, was Lilith, and most people don't remember that. But yeah, the whole thing with Hassan Piker and the shock collar, oh God, that's one of the reasons why I wanted Laura Jane here. She's not just the fact she's an animal lover and a veterinarian. She's been talking about this stuff for almost 2.5 weeks now on both Twitter X and Facebook. And she actually unleashed both barrels at Piker on social media for what he did. And she really gets upset when people use their pets as accessories to make themselves look good. You know, she's been talking about how the Paris Hilton pocket puppy, or puppy,
Paris Hilton. I ain't heard that name in probably a couple of decades.
Yeah, because she got upset with that whole purse puppy phenomenon, where people would go and get these little tiny dogs and stick them in their purse and carry them around. And she said that was one of the things about Clueless that she couldn't stand, was that it was the purse puppy phenomenon that they put into it that made it even more popular. Because she's like, a critter is not a fashion accessory. Let's see. Yeah. Well, the whole Lilith thing came up is covered under the Jewish parts of the Bible. And so yeah, it's definitely something to do over theology, if we ever can do a Let's Talk, because the story of Lilith is pretty interesting, and how Lilith has been deified by the feminist. It definitely deserves a good long talking about, because it's wild. It really is. But anyway, like I was saying, Laura Jane cannot stand when people are using critters as fashion accessories instead of what they're supposed to be, you know, i.e. a member of the family. Your pet is a member of the family. You're supposed to treat it with respect and take care of it and watch over it. And you got too many people that, if a pet becomes too much of a burden, they just either have it put down, or they'll just set it off on the side of the road. I don't know how many times we've actually found animals that were basically abandoned by people and needed to be rehomed. And that's one of the reasons why I don't like it when people do that. And I don't like it when people abandon other people and throw them away. You just don't do that to a life, you know. If you can't take care of your animals anymore, you find somebody to rehome them, just like you would if you couldn't take care of your kid. Because we're the adult, you know. Children and animals have no ability to give consent. That means you're responsible for that kid or that animal. It's one of the reasons why I get so aggravated if somebody has a dog that attacks somebody else and does massive physical, emotional, and mental harm to that person. All they do is they put the dog down. They don't punish the person who was responsible for making sure that dog did not do the bad shit that the damn dog did. It's also one of the reasons why people like what was that football player? Vic something.
Oh, was
Did
I know
whole
who you're
dog
talking
fighting
about? I
thing,
just can't think of his name.
the dog fighting stuff that this football player did.
Yeah, but
For the
anyway,
longest time, people were used it as this is it's as smart of a move as letting this football player babysit your dog. And I can't remember the dang football player's name right offhand. Dang it! TBI sucks, man. TBI sucks in the bad way. But yeah, it's just no. You just don't do that sort of thing, man. It's not right. You just don't do it. You gotta. We were given dominion over the animals because we're supposed to be their caretakers. We're supposed to make
Michael
sure
Vick.
That's it, Michael Vick. Don't let Michael Vick take care of your damn dog. And for all intents and purposes, that dude barely got a slap on the wrist. And I still can't get over that shit. They let him come back and play football still. That's another one of those things. What the hell? That dude belonged under the jail. Hell, he deserved a visit to Chippy.
Yep.
But that's just me. Though I have a feeling in our little online family,
I believe almost everybody would agree with you.
Yeah. I mean,
personally, I have more of a fondness for animals than I do for children. I am much more protective of animals than I am of children, which is saying something.
Yeah. But I look at this stuff that's been going on. And I'm like, damn, this is messed up. Especially, I mean, the dog wasn't doing nothing that deserved the shock collar, man. And I'm just like, sheesh. And I'm still trying to figure out why somebody like him who doesn't like animals would have a pet dog to begin with. Because he is Muslim and Muslims hate dogs. Only thing I can think of, he was using the dog as a means of getting people to watch his crappy show. Even though he's super popular there on Twitch. He's like the leading left-wing commentator on the internet right now. Even more so than his uncle, Chunky Yogurt, over there at the Young Nazis. Excuse me, the Young Turks. Sorry about that, guys. Really sorry. All right, hold on. Let's see. Come on, dude. That dog needed to sit still for 6 to 7 hours while he preaches his commie dogma. The dog is there for gays and women. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Siggy. Yeah, you're right. But oh god, I'm looking at this dude, and he's definitely a nepo baby who got his start thanks to chunky yogurt and those people, you know. I just think it's funny that the Young Turks is slowly starting to realize, you know, their side of the aisle are not good people. And they're actually starting to wake up to it. I mean, look at Anna Kasparian. I mean, she's been having a very slow wake up to it, and it all started with the homeless problem there in California, and the fact that she got assaulted in front of her home because there were homeless people pooping on the sidewalk right there in front of her place. And she was getting tired of opening her door, stepping out, and seeing somebody's ass right there in her face with poop coming out of it. Which is also the same place where we've actually watched a dude pooping in the street while eating said poop. And all you can think of is that person needs to be in a hospital somewhere getting care. Which unfortunately they're not getting because, well, the Democrats kind of got rid of all the asylums in the 80s when the homeless population became such a problem. Yes, Ian, that's it. That meme of "Are we the baddies?" That's exactly where a lot of people who are on the left are sitting right now because of all the crazy shit. The only good things that I can say that came out of Charlie Kirk's assassination was the fact that it has been a wake-up call for a lot of people that were on the left who were believing the lies that they have been repeatedly told over these past few decades. Especially when people actually go and who never heard of Charlie Kirk go and look at the videos of Charlie Kirk and they see what he was saying and actually watch the whole thing. I've been watching those videos of people of color, quote unquote, who talk about the fact that they did not know who Charlie Kirk was, so they went and watched his debates and saw that he was not what they had been told he was. And that was a wake-up call to them. As well as the people that started going to church again after his assassination. Especially after Erica, during the memorial service, forgave his murderer. And then watched as mainstream news media types and big name lefties and elected Democrat politicians was calling that memorial service a Nazi rally. Let that sink in, guys and gals. The left was calling the memorial service that they did for Charlie Kirk as a Nazi rally. Yep. There were people that were complaining about the fact, well, why did they have pyrotechnics during it? Because Charlie Kirk loved that shit. He loved the pyrotechnics.
Pyrotechnics.
Yeah, that's what I said, man.
You said pyrotechnics.
No, I said pyrotechnics.
Okay. Anyway,
it's just the way I talk, man. Come on.
Yeah. Well, my grandma has the same thing. She was part of an experiment when she was a kid. Her and her entire class, where they decided to experiment and not teach them proper phonics. and that ended up biting him in the butt.
Yeah.
So to this day, she says a lot of words really weird. Like instead of dishwasher, she'll say dishwasher.
Yeah, that's not cool. I got to work on my pronunciations then. But anyway, he loved that stuff. He found it fun, and especially the fact that whenever he would have people come on and they would do it, and he wouldn't give them advanced warning because he would giggle like a schoolgirl whenever they would like flinch from it, going, "What the hell was that?" And he would just giggle at him, go and enjoy it. And so yeah, they put that in there because it was something that he would love.
Yeah, I actually I actually saw a video on TikTok a couple days ago with this this African American pastor complaining about how people are comparing Charlie Kirk to Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm.
And literally the only thing he's focusing on is skin color. Like he goes in this whole big long spiel. All he's mentioning, race.
Yeah. And there's several of them that I've watched on YouTube talking about it and how they're upset with the people that keep saying that Charlie Kirk was a racist. And he's like, Bishop something. I can't remember his name, but he's one of the people I follow on YouTube. And he's from North Carolina. And his church isn't that far from here. I've actually had people that know me, that knows him and knows of his church, who offered to take me up there to go see him. Especially after after we did the whole me and Tony discussing the 5 times I died and what I saw on the other side.
Yeah.
And that they reached out and said, if you want to come on up and give a testimony in our church, you're more than welcome. I'm like, if I can ever get up there, yeah, sure, why not? It's just the fact, I'm a cripple and I have to rely on other people to take me places. And they're like, okay, just let us know. But yeah, he was sitting there. He got really upset about it. I mean, this dude's also taking Obama to the woodshed about the fact that the Obamas made race relations so much worse from the way they handled race relations while they were in office. And the fact that, oh man, it's just so frustrating the way some of these people act. They accuse the other side of the stuff that they're actually doing. And that's the part that scares the shit out of me. Because it keeps coming out, you're accusing us of doing the stuff you're doing. That's terrifying. And it's like the whole bit earlier where we were talking about all the renovations that have been done on the White House in the past that did a whole lot more changes than just removing an awning and putting so they can expand the building to put for the ballroom. So yeah, I'm looking at that and saying, you people, you need your heads examined, man. And the irrational hatreds, man, that's going to be the destruction of the world.
Yep.
Because when you allow an irrational hatred to exist, nothing else matters. Because of that irrational hatred, we have seen people put their children into harm's way. And also put other people's children in harm's way, or actually wish harm to happen to those children. It's like the dumbass that's running in Virginia that was talking about not only did he want to kill the Republican leadership there in the state house there in Virginia, he wanted to kill their children because they were being raised up to be little fascist Nazis. What the hell?
My rule of I have a rule, a silent rule that says if you append a label, if you blindly append a label to an entire group of people, you yourself, by definition, are the very thing you are accusing them of being.
Yeah.
That is a lesson a lot of these people need to learn.
Yep. But what pisses me off the most about it is the fact that the Democrat Party en masse is defending this dumbass. Not telling him he needs to get the heck out of the race and get the hell out of the party. They're defending him. But the only saving grace of this is causing a lot more people to wake up and actually rationally think about this stuff and compare the facts. And as Ian posted, when he posted the meme, are we the baddies? And we're seeing videos of people in their cars talking about this stuff, saying, I can't in good conscience keep voting for these people. I can't keep supporting them. I mean, it's like when people find out just what type of a person Margaret Sanger was, the founder of Planned Parenthood, find out just how much of a racist she was, how even Funny Mustache Man was looking at her going, whoa, that's really extreme. I never thought of doing it that way. And then here's some of the stuff that woman, the racist, bigoted, hate-filled stuff she talked about. They're like, no way she said that. Yes way, it's right here in her book. Here, take a look. Holy shit. Because I had one of the first nurses I had after my accident that would come and visit me 3 times a week. Couldn't believe it until I showed it to her. And she was like, oh my God, I never knew that. And yeah. Well, Siggy, yes, they had really nice uniforms. They did. They had some pretty sweet uniforms. Hugo Boss designed their uniforms. But yeah, it's so frustrating, that you've got all this stuff that's been going on in the world. It's like, I think it was Churchill who said that a lie will get around the planet 3 times before the truth can even put on his pants. And more people want to believe the lie instead of believing the truth.
Yep.
And too many people in their own personal lives have witnessed this in their lifetime. How many times have you heard somebody talk about the fact that they witnessed somebody they loved go through a divorce and have the spouse that instigated the divorce lie about them and try to destroy their livelihood or their ability to have a life after the divorce is over with? I mean, they go out of their way to make it to where they've turned the kids against their spouse. Why do you think I don't badmouth Emma with Zachary? I just say this is what she did, and I don't put anything else to it.
Yeah, I had a breakup that went that way.
Yeah, I mean, I've told y'all about what happened with my ex-fiance who beat the living crap out of me, and the shit that she was saying that turned a good chunk of the community that I grew up in against me. because she was making all kinds of accusations. But fortunately, the people that knew me, the people from my church that knew that that was bullshit, did everything in their power to counteract it. But unfortunately, my parents kept saying, "Oh, she wasn't the one that was spreading those rumors. It was this guy that she was with that was saying that shit." When the people who actually heard it come out of her mouth were just rolling their eyes. All because my parents did not want to believe that she was the one that was spreading the lies. Go figure. Yeah, it still hurts. Even though that was in 2001 through 2005 that she was lying and spreading those rumors while I was taking care of my grandparents.
They say time heals all wounds, but I find that there are some wounds that will never heal.
Yeah, especially when the wound comes from somebody that should have known better and known you well enough to know that's not your personality, that you would never have done that sort of shit. Especially considering the fact that my family knew anytime money was mentioned, I was out the door. I did not want to have any conversations about my grandparents' money while I was taking care of them. Also, one of my hard rules was I'm not changing a diaper because I don't want to be accused of something. So anytime a diaper had to get changed, a phone call got made and my mom came up and did it. And I was out of the house when it happened. And because I knew what was going to happen and the accusations that would be made. So I took precautions to keep it from happening. Let that be a lesson to everybody. Take those precautions if you end up in any type of caretaker position, because if somebody doesn't like you, they're going to do everything they can to destroy your life. And quickest ways to destroy a person's reputation. Oh, they stole money, or they were being they were doing stuff that would make P. Diddy go, "Oh God, no." Or worse, him sitting there going, "How much baby lotion did you have to use?"
Oh God.
I had to use baby lotion, dude. Had to do it.
I did not need that image in my head. Thank you.
Oh.
Golf clap? Golf clap.
You walked right into that one, Bubba.
Screw you too.
You know I love you.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, we've pushed over we're at the 2 hour and 10-minute mark. Yes, but Large ain't going to get to make it. Hopefully she'll be able to make it next week so we can really talk about the Hassan Piker stuff with all the details she's got. Because she really, this is right up her wheelhouse, that she really is into it. So yeah, we'll talk about that next time. I hope everybody had a good time. We had a good talk, and please be kind. Rewind, rewatch, share it with people, because it's hopefully be able to get caught on and have more interaction, because I like having the interaction with the chat and being able to talk to y'all. And but as I have said many times, and how I enjoy ending these little messages, is this world needs a lot more love in it, guys. Because look around. Too many people are doing everything in their power to divide us and keep us at each other's throats, because they think that it's the best way to control us. And for the past couple of decades, that's been happening. But fortunately, people are starting to wake up. And them going overboard with how they've been going after Trump has been waking more and more and more people up to it. People are remembering what happened with those of us that are old enough to remember when Reagan was president and how he got treated. And remember how George W. Bush got treated. And how we keep saying this isn't new. It's just more blatant and more in the face. Anytime somebody had a little R after their name, this is the type of stuff that they did. They did it to John McCain, who had been their golden boy that they would go to because he would call Republicans out whenever they did something he didn't like. And then as soon as he decided to run, what did they do? They threw him under the bus. Oh, here we go. Stiggy says, I remember the Reagan years and how the media said Reagan was going to get us into a nuclear war. Exactly. And that man hated nuclear weapons and he wanted to get rid of them. He really did. Our generation remembers this movie called The Day After that was really intense about a nuclear war and its after effect. And it was a dark movie. Funny thing is, in the UK, that was extremely anti-Thatcher, felt that The Day After wasn't dark enough and wasn't, oh my God, this is. So they made a movie called Threads. And it was a multi-part movie that is the most god-awful thing I have ever watched, that after watching it made me go, oh my God, all human life must be extinguished from the face of the earth because of how horrible it was. And yeah, literally they were hammering the message with sledgehammers, with the sledgehammers having little rocket boosters on them to make sure it hit extra hard. Oh boy. Wait a minute. I just left on a tangent, didn't I? Yeah, I did.
Yep.
I went on a tangent. Damn it. Didn't mean to.
Hang on.
Yep. Get the tangent bell out.
It ain't ringing very well, but I hope you were able to hear that.
Yep. Well, anyway, look around you. See the world for what it is. Do your best to look past what you're being told and try to find the truth in it. Don't let the lies keep dominating you. Meet lies with facts. Facts that they can't just ignore. But also remember, a lot of these people have been brainwashed with indoctrination that gets reinforced by the message being pushed by the people in the mainstream media and pop culture. We need to be examples of the positive change we want in this world. We need to show everyone we're human, just like you. We might not agree on everything, but at least we're willing to agree to disagree and let you live your life as you see fit and not force our ways down your throat. All we ask is for that same kindness and same consideration. That we will be allowed to live our lives as we see fit. So, let's be kind to each other. Let's love each other. Let's talk to each other. Let's share the things that unite us, the things that we love, the things in pop culture that we just adore, be it Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who, all the good things that used to bring everybody together in front of a TV or front of the movie screen, sharing a big bowl of popcorn and a giant super gulp of cola. When the worst thing that we were thinking about while we were enjoying that stuff is, should I get extra butter on my popcorn or extra salt? And then the smart move would be just to say, I'll take both. So, guys and gals and everything in between, always remember you're not alone and you are loved. And you're loved. Even you, Shrubby. Even you. Man, I do love you. Everybody remember your prayers tonight. Remember Blaze 2000, Doomcock, and Shrubs, and Ian Hambley's family. Keep them in your thoughts. Keep them in your prayers. And let's hold them up. Hold them tight. Hold them close. So they know they're not alone. And that, yes, they are part of our very loving, extended online family. Y'all be good. I'll talk to you later.